Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for former All-Pro lineman Kyle Turley.
Hello. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm really good.
Yeah?
Yes.
I'm really good, too.
Awesome.
I'm between some
Yes, you
very
are.
important people.
Did you bring your guitar? It's in my uncle's house out in West Houston. I'll be playing tonight.
Okay, where?
All right. Next time,
The
play us a
Revention
song.
Music Center.
Yeah?
Oh, okay.
Okay, we will all be there, right? We'll all go. I want to dive right in with you.
Yes.
You've talked a lot about how marijuana has helped you after your career. It's helped me during mine. Talk me through your experience with that, and you know, people are interested to know like what it is that I think there's a lot of like stigma.
Sure. Well, why I talk about it now is because during my career, it also helped me as well. I was introduced to it about my second year in the National Football League by a Hall of Fame player, and he saw I was going through a lot of struggles, and I was constantly going to the trainers, you know, how can I help this? I can't sleep, I can't eat, all these things. The pressures of the game, on top of the real world pressures that, you know, everybody faces, and so it helped. It was always something that helped, but unfortunately I was stricken to the opiates as they were being pushed to us constantly, and you know, surgeries, all these other things add up. So post-career, unfortunately, I had a lot of neurological issues that started to surface early in my career, and things started to get even worse post-career. So that went from just not the painkillers and the muscle relaxers, all these things that are just getting tossed around to everybody in this crowd daily. It was psych meds and Wellbutrin, Depakote, and Zoloft, and all these things that just made me a zombie. So at my lowest point in life, I was just done with it. I had to make a choice because I was going to literally either kill myself or just go and just disappear. And unfortunately, you know, we can't continue this path that we're going. I was shown the light, if you will. My life was saved by cannabis. And it was because I made an informed choice, educated choice on how to use this and what works and what doesn't, just like they're trying to do in these doctors' offices. And so I can't not help but speak about it because it saved my life, and I know personally and what it's done for me, and I've seen it. I've been a witness to so many others of how this can help our game. We are, you know, we don't need to be where we are right now, and that's the truth.
It feels like if the NFL were to embrace this, which they absolutely should, it sounds like from your experience, they would have to both endorse a drug that isn't legal everywhere in the United States yet, and also admit that football causes mental health issues. So do you feel like that's ever going to be a thing that the league will do?
Unfortunately, I'm going to receive probably a large settlement come June because I've been diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's disease. So what science tells us about cannabis is that it can help a myriad of issues in our society. And so we need to change this discussion from drug and pot and marijuana to the scientific terms that it should be discussed in and the platforms it should be discussed around. And that's how it helps people and it heals people. And not one person in the history of the world has died from using this substance that is considered worse. That's right. And I personally don't understand how the game can survive when our best and our brightest, you know, how coaches like Bruce Arians, these others can sit there. We all want to promote the game. We all want to talk about the game. But how can we sit there and say this builds such great men to see our best and brightest choose bullets over the first ballot Hall of Fame induction? And my good friend Junior Seau, and just losing my good friend Kevin Turner to ALS, and all these myriad of diseases that unfortunately football seems to be inherent with. Whether we want to admit it or not, the statistics are there. And so we have to do something about it.
Yeah, Nick, you've got a strong opinion on this.
So I want to say on the front end, I think the way the league incentivizes players to use truly dangerous, truly addictive substances and penalizes players for using a much safer alternative is shameful. I think the country as a whole, our stance on what is legal and what is illegal, alcohol, prescription drugs versus marijuana and other drugs, I think that's hypocrisy at its finest. So I'm not a Puritan on this, and I'm not a zealot on any of this stuff. But here, just my personal story. I didn't play football, so I wasn't dealing with physical pain. But people say marijuana is not addictive, and it's not physically addictive. But I was someone who, instead of coping with trauma, emotional trauma, I got high. I got high probably every day for 5 years. And it stunted it stunted my emotional growth. And so I'm curious your opinion on, because you're talking about all the positives of it, Like, do you see where I'm coming from? Which is, there's got to be.
Sure.
It can't be treated as if it's some panacea.
Where are you
like
from?
it's some cure-all.
Where are you from?
Kansas City.
Kansas City. Okay, so when I was in Kansas City, I had my guy. And when you're in Kansas City, you had your guy. And wherever these people are living in these states that don't have the opportunity to participate in the medical marijuana program have their guy.
Right.
And unfortunately, that guy doesn't know what he has. And fortunately, I moved to California and had the opportunity to
You
participate.
mean a dealer when you say guy, right?
Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
I'm just clearing
so
it up.
It is what it is.
Yeah, of course,
you know,
of course.
I say that I call them doctors today because that's what those were to me. I almost lost my life to opiate addiction
Totally.
and to psych meds that have horrific side effects. So whatever you're using it for, even that you probably just were using some bad indica weed that, I'm sorry, you know, it's just not good. And there's a lot different opportunities for you in different strains and how we understand this. This is why I speak about the science. We have to stop talking about this. If I just got high. At the end of the day, you weren't using it recreationally. I don't believe anyone uses marijuana recreationally because you're using it to deal with something because your life isn't what you want it to be completely sober. So whatever it's alcohol or whatever, what have you. But within cannabis, there are a myriad of opportunities for health and wellness that do not get you high, that have psychoactivity side effects that actually make you better and more attentive. I could not stand in front of you in these lights right now if this was not a part of my daily regimen. I'd have to have glasses and a hat and be a hermit and walk around and yell at people and point fingers and just be this crazy guy. And for me to stand here, it's because of I found my strain. And you need to do that, and everyone should do that because in this plant are amazing wonders, and I'm just a testament to it. You know, we can talk semantics and we can put all these bad things around it, but at the end of the day, from our youth to my good friend Donovan Hill, who lost his life at the Pop Warner level, to our discussions about all the pills attacking him and his situation and how cannabis was the only thing that helped him, to our players dealing with ALS right now, that their wives come up to me and say, this is the only thing that helps. Our game has inherencies, and we have to address them. We can't move this game any further than this. It's not going to happen for much longer before it becomes just a circus sideshow. And I'm too proud and too honored to have played this game to allow that to happen. And I don't want to see my brothers kill themselves anymore. I've been there. I've been to rehabs. I've been to psychologists.
It's interesting to me because you have sort of been dealing with the same thing of breaking down stigmas in the league about mental health. So it seems like you two should chat.
Yeah, right.
100%.
Hot topic, definitely. At first, I just want to commend you for your testimony, man. Just an inspiration for so many. I, too. Really quickly, because we have to go to break, but I will say this, that I, too, have my own fights with mental health, and I understand and I get it. But I will say this to both of your points. I'm in the NFL. I was drafted in 2006. When I came in, I knew nothing about prescription medications. I knew nothing about Toradol. Toradol is a hot topic, one that we talk about a lot in this discussion. Well, I remember at times when I was with the Denver Broncos, walking in a team hotel and seeing this room and a line of people sitting there getting shots in their butts, right? So I say that to say this. I've been in the league for 11 years, and the culture is changing. I don't know if it's where we need to be, but I want to be fair to the NFL. I want to be fair to our team doctors and our teams because now we don't get shots anymore. Most teams don't do it. Most teams fight you to give you a pill, a Toradol pill, and even on that, they used to give you a whole box of them. Now it's, man, we can only give you one or two. So I want to be fair to the NFL and our team doctors because some of them are great guys to me. I had some bad team doctors that I don't like.
No, my guys were awesome.
I want to say that the culture is shifting in a positive way.
Sure. And you guys are a huge part of that. And thank you for being so honest and for sharing your story. And hopefully we'll start making some real progress.
I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
We can start saving this game.
Yeah.